Minister, thank you very much. Welcome. This is your first ITB as Minister, and we see that you have quite a busy schedule already, haven't you?
No, it's been a very busy schedule. Well, obviously the first ITB as Minister, as you know, we assumed government early last month in January, and so it's been a very hectic 2 months. But not only that, I flew up on Tuesday, got here Wednesday, came straight to ITB, and we've been in meetings since then. This morning we had press briefing with all the media. I'm back on the floor again today. So it's been a very busy period.
You just had to really been thrown into the deep end, just like that. Yeah.
Yes, but luckily for me, I was in the Ministry of Tourism between 2000 and 2007, so I have a background. I know a lot of the stakeholders and partners in the industry, so it's not as difficult, but the work is there, and it's an interesting time. I think that across the world, Jamaica has done very well in tourism, and we continue to do well, but you have to continue to push at it, because it's challenging times. Our major markets are having degrees of recession, and there's a consolidation of the airlift, so you have to constantly be out there driving the business to our country.
I noticed that from here you're planning to go to Russia.
Yes.
You're meeting clearly with the airlines and so on. What do you expect to get out of Russia when you go?
Well, we're looking at diversifying our markets, and two of the areas that we're looking at almost with immediacy are Latin America and Russia and the Eastern European countries. So what we really need is airlift. We're going up to meet with Aeroflot to see what potential is. We've been having some discussion, and we hope now that we can arrive at some sort of agreement. If we get the flights in, well, even up to this morning we had some discussions with some of the tour operators, and they're very eager. They're ready to sell Jamaica. Jamaica is hot in Russia, but we have to get them from Russia to Jamaica.
I know your immediate predecessor also visited Russia as part of that. Is this a continuation of that sort of approach and policy?
Yes, I think that in terms of, we're an island, and if you're going to survive in tourism, you have to have good airlift. And we have, for a small island, we do have good airlift. However, you constantly have to be pushing that envelope. He went and had tried and had some discussions, and now I'm going back. I think a lot of this is about timing, and I think the time is right now. Hopefully, if everything comes together, if we can get the tour operators, as I said, are now eager. If Aeroflot is ready, if we can get on the flight, I think it will be really good. It will open up that market to Jamaica, and then we can build on it as we go along.
You're also meeting with the Jamaican diaspora in the UK. What do you expect to get out of them?
Well, I've met with them before in a previous dispensation. I think luckily for me, I was told when I passed through, I'm the first minister from this administration to pass through the UK. So I'm going to a meeting with the diaspora and have some discussions. I think, they won't have a discussion, find out what's happening, what's new with the new administration, with the new government. And so it should be an interesting discussion. I'm looking forward to that.
Jamaica has seen the diaspora as an integral part of, well, first of all, its marketing, and as a market for it as well. How do you anticipate developing that sort of relationship even further to the benefit of both diaspora and Jamaica?
Well, let me just start that this year is an interesting year because it's the 50th anniversary of our independence. So there's a lot of discussion taking place. We're looking at what we can do with our Jubilee celebrations. So there's a lot of that discussion taking place. But on another note, just in continuity, the diaspora is very important. As you pointed out, from the point of view of being out there, they're ambassadors for Jamaica. They talk about Jamaica. They're in touch with Jamaica. So that's an important part of everything. And secondly, the diaspora visiting Jamaica, the visiting friends and relatives is another important part. So there's both the element of keeping them informed, keeping the relationship going, and also letting the diaspora know what is happening at all times, because that's one method of disseminating the message.
As the new Minister of Tourism in the new administration, what will you do differently to help market and promote Jamaica to ensure that it remains above and beyond in terms of the tourism destination on the minds of travelers?
Well, you know, marketing Jamaica is a constantly evolving thing. We have an excellent team in the Jamaica Tourist Board, working with great companies and constantly innovative. Even right now, in this last month, we started some streetscapes up in New York. I don't know if you saw them, but great idea, and it goes on. We're now in discussions to see what's going to happen in the middle of this year, because going into the 50th anniversary, June, July, August, we're going to look and see what can be done, certainly in areas like Canada, down in London specifically, where, of course, with the coming together of the Olympics, where we expect great things from our athletes, and all eyes will be on Jamaica. We're looking to see what can be done there that will be exciting and new to promote Jamaica.
It's an Olympic year, as you've said, and typically in Olympic year there's a suggestion, well, people don't travel as much. One of your key markets, the UK. What can you do, or what are you planning to keep your numbers up even during the Olympic year when all eyes are on the UK?
Well, you know that this year, one of the things that we're doing in the UK is that we're actually back on air with TV advertising. We've been off for about 3 or 4 years, so we're back on air with the Usain Bolt ad, which is really getting reviews. So I think it's a timely thing. It's a good time to do it, and so that's a positive. We expect some challenges. Not only is it an Olympic year, but it's also an election year in the United States, another big market, and we find that sometimes the travel dips a little bit when it's an election year. So we have to be looking how we can be creative, how we can get out into the marketplace to ensure that we can increase our market share at this point in time to keep our numbers up.
How's your tourism performing?
No, we're doing very well. We had an extremely good winter last year. We've been continuing since then. We've been more or less flat. I think that the combination of the recession in our major markets, as well as it wasn't a particularly cold winter, and you know, so it didn't drive it as it was. But despite all of that, we've kept our figures up, we've kept our numbers up, so we're doing well. What we're doing is to look and see how we're going to progress into the summer and for next winter, and things are looking good.
What's new to share with us here?
Well, there's not a lot new yet. One of the things that really has been a good positive is that last week in Montego Bay, we had an investment forum, which was put on. It was hosted by the Prime Minister and by the Jamaica Promotions Limited, and it was really very good. A number of countries came, investors from a lot of countries, and came great interest, and we're looking out of that to see some investment in Jamaica, not just in areas such as IT and other areas, but certainly in the tourism area there was a lot of interest, and we expect some expansion of some of the existing hotels this year, and we're looking to see maybe another 1,000 rooms built in Jamaica going forward. Construction should be starting this year, so we're very optimistic. I think that will be a good thing for the industry, and we'll see going forward what else materializes out of the initial discussions that have taken place at the investment forum.
The country's image took sort of a licking during the Dada's Coke affair. I know that's previously where you're still new. Has it recovered?
Well, I think that we are certainly far better. During that period of time was an unfortunate period. But the benefit of it is that we cleaned up that problem. With him going away and has taken care of that problem. I think that since then we have had so many positives. As a matter of fact, Just looking yesterday when I was passing through London coming here, I looked on the newsstand and there were 5 newspapers on the newsstand, and every single newspaper had a picture of Prince Harry and Usain Bolt on the front page of the paper. Stopped off in the lounge, turned on the TV, and on nearly every station there were showing shows of it. So, you know, there are positives out there. Jamaica has been seen in a positive light, and I think that what we need to do now is to put all the systems in place to be able, as a country, to capitalize on these positive images that are going out now.
You didn't dance with the Prince, did you?
No, I didn't get to see him. Unfortunately, he arrived the day that I had to leave to come to ITB. But hopefully, given the fact that he now has determined that he, you know, I saw one of the newspapers says the Prince meets the second fastest man in the world. I couldn't understand the headline. When I read it, he said that he beat Bolt here. So I figured that somewhere around August there should be a rematch.
There's a rivalry.
And I'm hoping I'll meet him at the rematch.
I'm going to put you on the spot. What are your predictions for the Olympics as far as Usain Bolt and Jamaica are concerned?
Well, let me put it this way. When I look at it, I expect certainly in the men's that I'm hoping we get first, second, and I'm hoping we could get first, second, and third. I won't predict which one. Well, you know, the 958 is a tough call, but I'm hoping. I think the entire world will be watching for that. So it's going to be on your hand. Huh?
Will Bolt be beaten?
Well, it's going to be difficult, but I'm saying to you, it's going to be interesting. And leading up to it, certainly with the nationals in Jamaica, it's going to be almost like a pre-Olympics in the sprints. So it's interesting times ahead for Jamaica. And I think that this year is really going to be a premium year for sports. It's going to be a premium year for Jamaican athletes, and hopefully a premium year for Jamaica.
Let me ask a quick question about airlift. Because that's critical for you, both from out of Europe and from the US. It's been a concern, hasn't it? Especially ticket prices. The Air Jamaica sale, has Jamaica ever gotten over it?
Well, Air Jamaica was sold and Caribbean Airways took over. Now, what has happened, they had a number of gateways open. What we have seen recently is some of the flights coming off. So that has had an impact on us because we're getting decreasing airlift out of it. So that definitely has been a negative impact. In terms of generally speaking, over the last year, we have seen a number of airlines consolidating, and that has had a negative impact on us, especially out of the Northeast, which is our major breadbasket. That New York area has definitely had a negative impact with the airlift. So we have to be in there. We're going to be meeting with our partners to see what can be done. At the same time, we're looking how we can diversify and expand our airlift out of different areas. As I said before, you know, we're an island, and island, it's all about the airlift. So you just have to constantly be there and see where you can pick up and increase. The more airlift you have, the more you market that destination, the more visitors you'll get.
Did Jamaica ever forgive the last government for the sale of Air Jamaica?
Well, I don't know if it's something to be forgiven or not. There's a very emotional feeling with Air Jamaica. Jamaicans loved Air Jamaica. It's a great feeling, and we all love it. There was a cost associated with it, and so there were positives. And so there are two sides to it. And certainly with the sale of Air Jamaica, we have felt the impact of it. We didn't feel it in the immediate aftermath, but certainly now going down, we are feeling some of the negatives. And we're losing jobs as well, as the early indications are. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, nature abhors a vacuum, and we have to go in now and ensure that airlift is replaced, and that's a job that we're seeking to do right now.
Thanks a lot, Minister. I appreciate your time.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.